Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of great most that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel, man. Now, this is concerning Bishop Nathaniel from the IUIC trying to backtrack on what he said about Jacob's trouble. He said that he was saying that when he was with that Caribbean pastor, when they were debating about Jacob's trouble, which that pastor was in the right spirit, man, in the right spirit about Jacob's trouble, that there has to be a great judgment and tribulation and great suffering, a time of trouble for the Israelites, which is scriptural. He was on point for that. And I believe he said something about it already happened, or it won't happen, or something like that. Then he basically backtracked. He backtracked in one of his recent videos, man. And I think IUIC events. He was saying that he didn't say what he said, basically. So it was basically like a lie. Because he wasn't even trying to be that straightforward. In the first time he was speaking about Jacob's trouble with that pastor, he wasn't being straightforward, man. So the whole congregation of IUIC, you should be looking at this guy with a side eye, man. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, man. This is Jeremiah 30. I'll go straight to the point. Verse 4, actually. Verse 5. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. So a time is coming. It's not going to be peaceful and happy. It's not going to be joyful. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Yeah. It's asking you, have you ever seen a man looking like he's about to give birth, in panic, in pain, like a woman does? No, you haven't seen it, but men are going to start to look like that. So if the men are going to be scared in those days and act like women, how much more the women? And all you independent bitches, you stupid hoes that think you don't need no man and you can treat any man however you want and think you can be fine on your own, you're greatly, rudely, and sadly mistaken. You're gonna wish you wish for a man in that day, and only the men of the Lord are gonna stand firm. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Yeah, man, a great judgment is going to happen to Jacob, the Israelites. A time of persecution and destruction. Now it's going to happen to everybody in the world. There's going to be disasters all over the world and chaos. World War III and stuff like that, race war. But Jacob is going to be the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics are going to be basically the center of attention of this judgment, man. Especially those that take the Maxine or the RFID mark of the beast chip. Great judgment is happening. But it's going to be survival of the fittest, In fact, it's going to be survival of the spirit. If the Lord ain't with you, you're finished. But he shall be saved out of it. Yeah. The elect of Israel are going to be saved out of the judgment. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break. Yeah, that's it. Verse 7. Daniel's 12. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. The children of Jacob, the Israelites. Jacob's name was changed into Israel later on. Yeah. So not everybody is the Lord's people. And there shall be a time of trouble again, tribulation, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. So this This time, this has never been compared to any other destruction previously. Worse than the flood, worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, worse than, any other things you thought of. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. So the same thing again in Jeremiah. Everyone that shall be found written in the book, the elect are written in the book. Lord willing we be. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. So if you sleep in the dust means dead, right? And it says shall awake, so that means they're gonna be reborn. That's reincarnation. Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. You're gonna be a lot of you Israelites, you 2/3, you Israelites that are wicked, that join forces with the heathen and Esau and the devil. You're going to be born in the kingdom at a lower rank. You're going to still be blessed, but you're going to be born in a lower rank, and you're going to be shamed for all the wicked things you did, for taking the side of Esau, the so-called white man, and rebelling against your power, Yahweh, and the son, Yahushai. Matthew 24, verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation or trouble, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. See, so the writing is almost exactly the same as, basically the same thing as Jeremiah 30 and Daniel's 12, and this is written in red. The Lord said this. So if you're saying that there's not going to be Jacob's trouble, or there's not going to be a time of persecution and tribulation, you're sadly mistaken, man. And you're going to be caught in that time and taken out, man, by the Lord. And except those days shall be shortened, those days, this is the last days it's talking about. There should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the Lord only cares about the elect, which is the elect of Israel. Right? So there is a time of Jacob's trouble. There is a time of persecution. There is a time of disaster that's coming. Worse is coming. Terror attacks and stuff like that. Matthew 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, tortured, persecuted, and shall kill you. So a lot of us Israelites are going to be killed. A lot of Jacob going to be killed. And even there's some, quite a few of the elect, or however the Lord desires, are going to die for the Lord and be beheaded. Will die for the truth. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So, you see, the Israelites are going to be the center of attention, man. Because we're going to be hated by all races. Because we stand up for the Lord. We're Hebrew Israelites, right? But all of you are gonna get it. It doesn't matter what religion you're in. Yeah. If you're a Jake, you're gonna be the center of attention, man. Yeah. The other nations are gonna be pointing fingers at you, blaming you. Yeah. If you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, Hispanic, or the ones that are considered quote-unquote minorities. Funny how, when it comes to the vaccine and all this pandemic, they're saying our people need to get maxed first. But anyways, man, time of judgment's coming. Time of destruction's coming. You need to repent, man. You need to repent. Follow the Lord. With that, shalom.